And these three elements are very important when you think about mindfulness, so that the present moment is where we are here and now. Your mind is fully focusing on this moment, this second, this minute, this hour, and nothing else. You are aware of what's going on inside of you. So you are aware of your physical sensations, your feelings, your thoughts, but you're also aware of what's going on outside of you. So what you're looking at the moment, maybe the room that you are in, the noises from outside, and also you're listening to my voice. And you are doing all of this in a non-judgmental way. So often we beat ourselves up and judge ourselves and compare ourselves to other people and things around us. And being non-judgmental is already the foundation of mindfulness. So let's just explore how we really live. Often we live with an absent mind. And absent-mindedness means that we are just not really aware, we are not really present in what's happening. We also often experience the wandering monkey mind. And monkey mind means that we're jumping from one thought to another without really going deep into anything. Like a monkey likes jumping from one tree to another and holding on to one branch and then reaching for the next one. Our mind does that too. And our mind needs training to slow down and maybe focus just on one thing at a time. Multitasking is one of those phrases that we use these days a lot. And actually, it's not a healthy thing for our mind. It's much better when we simply focus on one thing at a time. And we might want to speed things up and then move on to the next thing because we have busy lives. But at the same time, it's important that we don't let our mind just wander and jump from one thing to the other without really exploring and really going deep into what's happening. We are often in an autopilot mode, and that means that we are reacting to things. So if you just think about how many times we leave the house and don't remember whether we locked the door, or you drive from one place to another and you don't remember anything from the journey when you reach your destination. Often we are in a meeting or we are talking to somebody, maybe listening, but actually our mind is somewhere else and we're exploring something else in our mind instead of being there in that present moment. Often we experience the puppy mind, and the puppy mind means that we get distracted by things around us, like a little puppy who would jump on one thing, and if there is something more interesting around in the room, then the puppy will run that way. And that is a natural thing to do. Often it's the child's mind as well, that they get distracted easily. But we notice that even as adults, that we are very impulsive and we jump on something that seems more interesting than the other that we are dealing with at the moment. Escapism means that we try to escape from tasks that we don't want to deal with. So our mind naturally focuses on the things that we enjoy, that we are good at, and we avoid tasks that we don't like. And maybe if you think about your work life or even your private life, if there is something that you always push to the side and delay to do, those are the things that your mind wants to escape from. And you choose the things that you enjoy, that you're good at, that you're confident with. Disconnectedness, unfortunately, is another negative way of our current way of living, which means that we are not connecting to the things and to the people around us. So you might know that you have a neighbor, for example, but you never speak to them. You don't even notice what they are like. You never connected with them. And also it can happen at work, in a work environment, that you know that maybe there is a particular person sitting somewhere, but you never even spoke to that person. And that's actually not a healthy thing to do. Relationships, being sociable is really important for our mental health. Then stress and anxiety are a typical sign of how we live these days. We are stressed because there are so many things that we need to deal with, and our mind just simply is not able to cope with that, and our body is going to respond to that. So our body creates a hormone called cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and that is a good thing to a particular level. But once our body reaches that level and we go beyond what is normal cortisol level, then unfortunately that can impact our health, both physically and mentally. Poor judgment is one of those negative things that we face with a lot of the times, just because we don't go deep into exploring a particular topic and we make quick decisions. Also, often we base our decisions on past experience instead of actually looking at what is that current situation, and we judge poorly. Rumination is one of those things that stops us from sleeping well, when we go over and over and over again the same thing, and we don't let go of past events. Sometimes we just need to change our mindset about how we live our daily life, and think about, we can't change what happened in the past. We can only change what we are doing in this present moment. And the rumination really doesn't do much benefit to how we live. And the last thing I wanted to mention is the shallow experience, which you might have noticed that because we are not living in the present moment, you might be at a nice place, you might be on a holiday, but you're still dealing with other things. So you get distracted, and therefore your present moment experience is not as deep and as enjoyable as it could be, because you're maybe planning the next thing in the future, or you're dealing with things from the past. Lack of awareness, presence, and intentionality can hinder fulfillment in life and overall well-being. That's a statement that is true. And that is why mindfulness has become such an important thing in the 21st century. And that's why we share the practice with you today. So I would like to start with a mini practice, and please answer this question for me or for yourself. What is your feeling now? And I brought 8 feelings on the screen, and you can choose from these, but you can also choose something completely different. You might feel that you're anxious or calm, maybe stressed or excited. You might feel sad or happy about something. Maybe you're bored, I hope not, or maybe you're worried about something. So just take a couple of minutes now and decide on what you're going to write down. Take a pen and a piece of paper and just write down how you're actually feeling right now.
Hi, Zita. Good morning. This is Moza. We are not able to see any basically presentation or a screen.
Are you not?
No. So
let me just check. Hiba, can you see that they can see the screen? I'm so sorry about that. I'm sharing.
Yes, now we can see.
yes, now it's visible.
Oh my, and it hasn't been visible until now.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. Thank you for telling me. Thank you. So just write down what's your feeling right now. Okay, I hope this was enough time for you to complete this exercise. So this was your first step on your mindful journey. Your awareness about what's going on inside of you, how you're feeling, what your emotional state is actually helpful to understanding how you're responding to the world around you. So when you know that, for example, you're worried about something, and that occupies part of your brain, and if it's something important for you, then it's natural that your response to the world around you might be different to another state, which would be a calm state or a happy, a content state. So please do this exercise every day and maybe several times a day. So before you start the day in the morning, just contemplate and take a minute or two. It doesn't take very long to understand your emotional state. And for us women, it's particularly important because we are more emotional than men. And us being emotional means that our response to the world around us is impacted by our emotions more than it would be for men. So if you're aware of how you are, and that could be something that's happening in your life, which is out of your control, but also it could be something that is happening inside of you. So for example, if you have aches or pains, because you injured yourself, or maybe just because you exercised too much the previous day, then if you're aware of that, then you know that you might respond to the world around you in a different way. Also, if you know that you're stressed about something, then again, maybe your response to your spouse, your husband, or maybe to your children or your extended family would be different to a state when you're calm. And then you can adjust how you react to the world. So this could be done many times in the day because our emotional state changes throughout the day. And you might find that you're in a state in the morning and then something changes, something impacts you in the day, and then later on your emotional state will be different. So take your time and reflect on that to be able to better respond to the world around you. And now I want to move on to the benefits of mindfulness. So one of the biggest benefits of practicing mindfulness on a regular basis means that you can reduce the stress levels by promoting relaxation and decreasing the body's stress response. So mindfulness literally changes the brain by rewiring it to reduce stress and anxiety. And this is often listed as the biggest benefit of mindfulness, just because our life is typically full of stress and anxiety. So when you practice mindfulness, the body learns how mindfulness feels inside. And it's almost like when you start running, first, when you run, you might find it difficult, you might find it tiring, and you need to train your body. You need to train your lungs, you need to train your legs, and your whole body to be able to run. And it's the same with mindfulness. You're training your body to be more mindful, your mind, your feelings, your mental state. And therefore, it will become part of how you are, and it changes your body's response to the world around you. The next thing is mindfulness helps develop greater emotional awareness and regulation, the ability to manage difficult emotions and cultivate a greater sense of emotional balance. And it relates back to the previous exercise that we've just done. So our emotional state and emotional awareness teaches us how to start regulating it. So once you become aware of your emotional state, regulating it will come more naturally. And this will reach an emotional balance, or a better emotional balance. Mindfulness teaches us to practice patience, so it comes naturally to us when we need it. Patience is often tested, especially if you have children, and if you have a bigger family and lots of family members. Often our husbands test our patience. But also in the workplace, we face situations numerous occasions where we really need to be patient to be able to cope with things. And if you train your body, and mindfulness helps with that, patience will become part of who you are and how you behave. And that's a very, very positive trait. Mindfulness techniques can improve sleep quality by calming the mind and reducing nighttime rumination, leading to more restful and rejuvenating sleep. Sleep is so important in our life. Our body is prepared to be active for, let's say, 12 to 16, 18 hours a day, but our body needs the rest. And often the active state impacts how we can rest and how we can sleep. So when you get to sleeping, and I know that often we don't have enough hours to sleep, we don't have enough hours to rest, but that the quality of your rest is really impacting the quality of your awake state. So when you practice mindfulness, you can improve how you sleep, just because when your mind is calmer, it's not going to disturb you by falling asleep later or waking up in the middle of the night, and also being distracted by bad dreams or thoughts in the night. So it's really important that you support your body to achieve good quality sleep. Therefore, you're a better person in your awake times. Mindfulness helps develop resilience in the face of life's challenges by cultivating a mindset of acceptance, adaptability, and non-reactivity to stressors. And this resilience is supporting us in both our private life and our work life. Often we are reactive. Have you heard about the term road rage? And so many people suffer from that when we drive somewhere, and we drive a lot these days, or we travel. Driving is a stressful activity, and unfortunately we become responsive to outside stressors. So when we learn how to be more accepting and non-reactive to stresses around us, like driving, but there are many other examples, then you will become a more resilient person. Mindfulness practices promote empathy, active listening, and present moment awareness, leading to more fulfilling and harmonious relationships with others. So when you practice mindfulness, you will notice that your social relationships improve. And that's just simply because you change within yourself. And that change will be reflected on how people respond to you. And you might find that you have less conflict around you, your personal relationships improve, your work performance improves, and your relationships at work improve too, just because you are more mindful of how you are communicating, how you're listening to others, and how you respond to the world around you. Mindfulness techniques increase body awareness, helping women develop a deeper connection with their bodies and better understanding of their physical sensations and needs. Improved and enhanced body awareness helps us be more connected to what's going on in our body. And it's really important that we are aware of how we are, because we are as women, we are going through monthly cycles, and these monthly cycles change how we are able to respond both physically, emotionally, and mentally to the world around us. And this is something that we need to learn and understand about ourselves, and that way you are able to adjust and be in control of how you are responding to the world. So part of the month when we are on our periods, for example, might be more challenging for us because you might feel a bit more tired, you might need more sleep. And if you're aware that this period is coming, then you can prepare your life that you know you go to bed a little bit earlier. You're not planning any challenging trips or big activities, physical activities, because you know that you're physically probably a little bit weaker, and it's a natural thing to do. Also, our emotional state changes throughout our cycle. There are parts of our cycle when we are a bit more reactive. Maybe you feel that you're a little bit more on the edge. And other times you are super calm and patient. And if you're aware of how that's changing in the month for you, then you can respond to the world around you a little bit better because you understand yourself more. And again, I just want to refer back to the screen that you didn't see. There is the 3 pillars of mindfulness, which is the non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. So there is no need to judge yourself. Start by loving yourself and understand that this is just how you are on day 5 of your cycle, for example, because your hormones are impacting so much in how you're able to respond to the world. And all you need to do is you be aware of it and you adjust your response and your behavior as much as you can within your limits and just achieve a better result. So it's the non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. And going back to the benefits, very important is that mindfulness practices may help regulate hormonal balance by reducing stress-related hormonal fluctuations, benefiting women's reproductive health and overall hormonal well-being. So our hormones are fluctuating throughout our menstrual cycles, and also they are fluctuating throughout our lives. Events outside of us impact how our hormonal balance is. So, for example, stress is one of the most important hormonal influencer. The stress hormone cortisol can increase significantly, and that will impact other things in our life too. And our other hormones that are important female hormones, estrogen and progesterone, will be impacted by the stress hormone. And this can impact our reproductive health. Our menstrual cycle can get out of balance due to high level of stress. And that when that is out of balance, then it can impact our physical and mental state. So overall hormonal well-being is essential for us. And just to compare how women are different to men, women have monthly cycles. We have estrogen peak and progesterone peak every month. The main male hormone, which is testosterone, peaks throughout the lifetime of an adult male. So they don't have these fluctuations. They don't need to deal with these fluctuations. Therefore, they are constantly at a very similar physical and mental state impacted by hormones. Now, our hormones are impacting everything in our life, not just how our reproductive system works, but also our energy levels, our metabolism. So you might notice that some days you are very peckish and you like to eat a lot, and other days your appetite is actually quite under control. It impacts our mental and emotional state. It impacts our physical strength. So our hormones have a huge impact on many things in our body, not just our reproductive health. And therefore, it's our overall well-being that is influenced. When you practice mindfulness and improve your body awareness and improve your hormonal awareness, then you can improve your overall well-being. By promoting a state of calm, clarity, and presence, mindfulness enhances overall well-being, enabling women to live more fully and enjoy life's experiences to the fullest. And that's our ultimate goal with mindfulness. So that takes us to our first mindfulness practice, and it's going to be mindful breathing. And I ask you to kindly move everything out of your hands. So put down your phone, put down your pen. You don't need to do anything if you have anything in your hands. And just sit back on your chair. So if you're sitting on an office chair maybe, then lean back and let your back be supported by the back of the chair. And if you have armrest, you can rest your forearms on your armrest. If you don't have armrest, you can just rest your hands down on your laps. And we're going to take about 5 minutes for this practice. And you can close your eyes if you like to close your eyes. If you don't like closing your eyes, all I ask you is to lower your gaze down so that you're looking either at your lap or at your hands on your lap, or just simply let your eyelids start to become heavy. And whether your eyes are closed now or not, we're going to start our mindful breathing practice. So, without adjusting the breath, notice how the breath enters the body and how it leaves the body. Notice how softly the breath enters the body and leaves the body. Notice how the breath goes through the nostrils, through the nasal passage, down at the back of your throat, through the windpipe, into the lungs. And when the air leaves the body, from the lungs, through the windpipe, the back of the throat, the nasal passage, leaves the body through the nostrils. No need to adjust anything, just simply observe your natural breathing. You might notice that the air touches the skin above your upper lip. The breath comes in through the nose, and a little bit warmer air leaves out through the nose. With every inhalation, we breathe in oxygen. With every exhalation, we breathe out carbon dioxide. With every inhalation, we breathe in energy. The breath is our primary source of energy. The oxygen is released down through the bloodstream to every cell in our body. With the exchange in the lungs, the carbon dioxide leaves the body, cleansing the body. With every inhale, we breathe in vitality and strength. And with every exhale, we're letting go of everything that we don't need anymore. Breathe out whatever doesn't serve you. Just stay aware of the breath. Now take a deeper inhale and a longer exhale. And another deeper inhale to wake up the body, to bring your awareness back to the here and now. And a long, soft exhale. And you can open the eyes. Maybe stretch your arms over your head if that feels good. And take a moment to reflect to yourself on how this breathing practice was. And if you wanted to note down anything about the breath awareness, the mindful breathing practice, then feel free to write it down. If you want to share anything here on this call, I would be happy to hear your experience. Just turn off your mute and you can share with us. Okay, and then we're moving on. Can you see my screen? Everybody can see my screen? Okay, let me know if you can't see my screen. So we're moving on and we'll explore the science behind mindfulness. So mindfulness
Yes, I can see.
Great, thank you so much. Mindfulness practices have been shown to induce structural and functional changes in the brain. Research using MRI has demonstrated that regular mindfulness practice can lead to increased gray matter density in brain regions associated with attention, emotion regulation, and self-awareness. So this neuroplasticity benefit is shown on improving the ability to study, to learn, just by simply improving the brain functioning where it comes to attention and focus. It also shows the emotion regulation. So there is again another part of the brain that is responsible emotional regulation. And with research, it has been shown that people who practice mindfulness regularly, and that means practice regularly either on a daily basis or 3 to 4 times a week, can improve their emotional regulation and self-awareness. Stress reduction, one of the most well-documented benefits of mindfulness is its ability to reduce stress. Studies have found that mindfulness can lower levels of cortisol and reduce perceived stress levels. These effects contribute to improvements in overall mental and physical well-being. So it's not just how we are perceived by the world around us, but also these studies have actually measured the levels of the different hormones, in particular cortisol, that is the main stress hormone, to prove that thanks to just simply practicing mindfulness, so no medication and no other intervention, stress levels have been reduced. Mindfulness results improvements in cognitive functioning, including attention, memory, and executive function. Studies have found that mindfulness training can enhance cognitive performance and increase attention control, leading to better focus and concentration. This cognitive functioning is already beneficial at a young age. So some children who are struggling with attention control, for example, or school performance, actually with mindfulness practice, they can improve that and they will improve their results in school. But it's also true for adults. So our brain can be trained throughout our life. And our brain is one part of the body that is developing and changing throughout our life. And that can be impacted by a mindfulness practice. Numerous studies have demonstrated that positive effects of mindfulness on overall well-being and quality of life. Mindfulness practices have been linked to greater levels of life satisfaction and happiness, as well as reductions in symptoms of anxiety and depression. And that takes us to our next breathing exercise. The reason for using the breath for stress reduction and relaxation is that our lungs are our only organs that we can control the functioning of. And if you think about the organs in our body, we can't really change how our liver or our kidneys are functioning. We can't really change our digestive system hugely by a conscious adjustment, but we can control how we use our lungs just by simply elongating the inhalation, elongating the exhalation, and also shortening the inhalation and the exhalation, or pausing in between inhalation and exhalation. And lengthening the inhalation and exhalation to a particular length, whether it's 5 seconds or 10 seconds, and then continue at that level, is going to have a significant impact on neurological state. So we can modify our lungs, and that will have an impact on our whole body. And that's what we're going to practice now with a specific breathing where we elongate the inhalation and elongate the exhalation. And we're going to elongate them to about 6 seconds. So we're going to breathe in for the count of 6 seconds, and we're going to breathe out for the count of 6. And we'll practice this for 3 minutes. So it's not going to be a very long practice. You can actually practice this much longer if you like. But for today's session, we're only going to do a short practice. And again, I just ask you to sit back comfortably. Again, arms down, hands down, nothing in your hands, so that there is no distraction. And you can close the eyes if you want, or just keep your eyes open. And to prepare, take a deep breath in and a long breath out. And now let's begin. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. Inhale. 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 Exhale. Last round, inhale. Exhale. And now you can let the breath return to its natural rhythm. You can stay with your eyes closed for a few more seconds and just observe how it feels in your chest, maybe even inside in your lungs. And notice, be aware whether there is anything that changed in your emotional state, in your physical state. And if there is anything you would like to share here now, then feel free to do that. Otherwise, you can write it down just for your own benefit. It was the 6-second breath, the 6-second inhalation, 6-second exhalation. And we practice it for 3 minutes. You can do this practice for longer. You can do it for 6 minutes, and that's easy to remember. So 6 seconds in, 6 seconds out, and do it for the length of 6 minutes. Or you can do it even more for 20 minutes or so if you feel like you need to reduce stress, you need to relax, and you need to calm your mind. And with the mind's focus on a single thing, which is the breathing, your calm is become a little bit clearer. And if you imagine a busy highway, the mind works like a really busy highway where there are 6-7 lanes in each direction. And there are cars coming in every single lane, passing by at different speeds. These are our thoughts. These are the topics that our mind needs to deal with, all the external inputs that our mind needs to deal with. And after mindfulness practice, like a breathing practice, our mind becomes like a country road. And a country road is usually a narrow road with only one lane in each direction. And the traffic is usually really quiet. So there might be a car driving by occasionally. And then the other direction, another car. But these are our thoughts after mindfulness practice. So instead of being that busy highway that you can see in Abu Dhabi or in Dubai or in many other countries, it becomes a country road where there's just only a few thoughts occasionally coming. And that's much healthier for our mind. And stress is caused by busyness, is caused by the monkey mind or the puppy mind, where we're jumping from one thing to another. And we achieve relaxation by getting rid of those thoughts and almost like going to a retreat away from the business, down to the country, and just let our mind relax. And you can find that anywhere. You can find it in your chair working. So any feedback, feel free to share that with me now. Share with the group. Okay. Then let's move on. We have 10 more minutes to do, and I will just quickly go through the next section where I want to talk to you about your hormonal health. So women's hormonal balance is a really important topic. Hormones have a profound impact on every aspect of our woman's life, from her physical well-being to her emotional state and overall quality of life. Hormones are responsible for biological processes that govern everything from reproduction and metabolism to mood regulation and energy levels. Hormonal balance can be influenced by a myriad of factors ranging from genetics and lifestyle to environmental exposures and stressors. Our hormones are not merely biochemical entities coursing through our veins. They are the silent orchestrators of our vitality and resilience. They shape our experiences, influence our choices, and play a pivotal role in defining our sense of self. There are many hormonal fluctuations that a woman goes through in her life. With puberty, the production of estrogen and progesterone starts. Each menstrual cycle prepares the body for a potential pregnancy. Then pregnancy and labor and breastfeeding are characterized by dramatic hormonal shifts, followed by restoration of hormonal balance. During perimenopause, hormone levels fluctuate. menopause marks the end of the reproductive function, leading to various physiological changes. Hormone fluctuations impact mood regulation and can contribute to mood disorders such as depression, anxiety, and mood swings. Poor dietary choices, sedentary lifestyle, chronic stress, and exposure to chemicals can disrupt hormonal balances. Now, there are some very common hormonal imbalances. You might have heard about thyroid disorders, and often when a woman has some form of hormonal imbalance, the first test that doctors do is checking out the thyroids. Thyroids can underfunction or overfunction, and this will impact all of the hormones in the body. So you can imagine the hormonal balance in our body is basically a network where a myriad of hormones have an impact in, and they influence each other. So our main female hormones that we already talked about are estrogen and progesterone. But there are another many hormones, another 20, 30, 40, 50 important hormones that impact our body. And they are produced in different parts of our body, but they all circle around. And if one is out of balance, then it can impact the whole endocrine balance, the hormonal balance. Adrenal fatigue or adrenal dysfunction can cause a significant hormonal imbalance, and the adrenals are responsible for stress response. So that's where cortisol is produced. Another hormonal imbalance is estrogen dominance. And that means that in our normal cycle, we should have estrogen dominance for half of the cycle and progesterone dominance in the other half. But when estrogen takes over and progesterone is not present, then again, the whole hormonal system moves out of balance. Insulin resistance and metabolic syndrome are common issues these days. Insulin is often linked with diabetes. And that is super important for our metabolism. Insulin plays a very important role in our digestion and how we process food and how the benefits, the nutrients are distributed in the body from our digestion. A very common hormonal imbalance is PCOS or polycystic ovary syndrome, where our ovaries, which are the main female hormone producing organs, are overpopulated with cysts. And cysts are usually not harmful. They are little pockets of fluid. However, polycystic ovary means that the ovaries are so overpopulated with these cysts that actually the ovaries cannot function properly. And the last hormonal imbalance is the menopausal hormonal change, which is unfortunately impacting us women when we get to our 40s all the way to final menopause. And this is called a perimenopausal phase that can take 5 to 10 years, where our hormones are fluctuating so significantly that it can cause all sorts of issues in the body, including night flushes, hot flushes, sleeplessness, insomnia. It can cause joint pain, headaches, and all sorts of other physical issues, also mental and emotional issues. Now, what we can do a lot of things to improve our hormonal balance. First of all, a whole nutrient-dense food rich in fiber, vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats that support blood sugar regulation and promote stable energy levels is very important. A balanced diet, minimizing processed foods, sugar, and refined carbohydrates. Regular exercising is important. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity exercise for 75 minutes of vigorous exercise per week, including cardio exercise, strength training, and flexibility. So whatever you choose, whatever is your style, whether you prefer more cardio style or more moderate, you can do both or either. Just make sure that you do a minimum minutes every week. Practice mindfulness, meditation and deep breathing exercises, progressive muscle relaxation, and yoga to lower cortisol levels and promote relaxation. Also, maintain a consistent sleep schedule, creating a relaxing bedtime routine and optimizing sleep environment. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep every night. Limit exposure to endocrine disruptors. Endocrine disruptors are toxins that are found in plastics, pesticides, personal care products, and household cleaners. Choose natural and eco-friendly products instead. Opt for organic and hormone-free produce, meat and dairy products. And you can also choose to consume herbal remedies known for their hormone balancing properties, such as maca root, ashwagandha, chasterberry, and black cohosh, and many other supplements that you might find beneficial. So I wanted to finish off with a meditation, but unfortunately we are running out of time. So we will not do the meditation now, but we're going to jump through this, and I give you homework. So 2 homeworks I would like to give you. One is we can send you after this presentation, or actually we will send you the whole packet, a coloring page where I would like you to take this page, print it out for yourself, choose whatever colors you would like, take your time to prepare to do the coloring, so create space, block any outside disturbance, explore the coloring sheets, choose your colors, plan it, and then do the coloring. And once you completed the coloring, reflect on how this exercise was. And please do it mindfully. So please be present as your pencil touches the paper, listen to the sound, see how the line changes, the white changes into the color that you chose, and then reflect on what the final exercise was. And then the other homework, and this is your biggest takeaway for today, is starting a mindful journaling practice. So to implement and build in mindfulness into your daily routine, you can start journaling for yourself every day. And it's best to do in the evening, where it's probably easy to find a quiet place. For the journaling, center yourself with deep breaths, and then fill out the form. So we'll send you this sheet as well. Basically, you can write down 3 things that you're grateful for, state your emotional state and your physical state, state down your accomplishments and your goals for the following day. So thank you so much for your time and attention. I hope you enjoyed. I would like you to remember our quote from the beginning: within you there is a stillness and a sanctuary to which you can retreat at any time and be yourself. And if you have any questions, I'm still here. I'm happy to answer.
Hi, Zita. Thank you for the wonderful session. So if any of the participants have any questions, they can ask. Meantime, can you share the QR code on the screen for the feedback form? I'm sending a link in the chat box as well.
Yes. I will.
So meantime, they are asking the question. They can also fill the feedback form. It will hardly take 2 minutes. So you can fill the feedback form. And if participants, if you have any questions, you can proceed.
Can you see the feedback form?
Yes, we
Shiba,
can.
Can you?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the feedback, Noor. You're very welcome. If anybody has a question, please feel free to come and ask. It's only us ladies. You're welcome, Rim. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you for joining. The slides will be shared. Yes, Maria. The slides will be shared together with all the other presentations and also the feedback form. Also the homework.